Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. Okay, so on this Saturday, we are going to finish our diamond that we started yesterday. So this is the Shamrock one, and we are halfway through it. So we are going to start the other half. Now, as to starting the other half, we are going to be decreasing both ends. So we're just going to chain one and turn. And then in the first two stitches, we are going to slip stitch, and those are double crochets. We're slip stitching in the first two stitches, which are doubles. Then in the third stitch, we are going to start our square. And we're going to put the green square in, and then we are going to switch over to blue, and we need to carry our green with us. Now we need 5 blue. Now remember, we started out with 25 squares. Just keep that in mind for right now. So there's 2. 3, 4, and 5, and when we need to switch back over to green, we'll drop that blue back there. And now we need 11 green. No, yes. So 5 blue, 11 green. And that is too loose. Let's try that again. There we go. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And 11. Now we're going to switch back over to green, or blue. So, how did I mess that up? Alright, let's switch back over to blue. And now we need 5 blue, no, 6 blue and 1 green will finish this row off. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to switch back to green, and this is the last stitch right here, which will be green. And then we're going to slip stitch to this first stitch right here. And there you have it. So this is a corner, and this is a corner on this side. So now we have done our corners, and we are down to 24 squares instead of 25. So we went from 25 squares on row 25 to 24 squares on row 26, and now the squares will decrease by 1 as we get down to the last corner. Alright, so that was 26. We just did row 26, and we have 24 squares now. And now for 27, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, as we usually do. And then we're going to do, on the 3rd stitch again, we're going to start our green square. And now we need to switch over to our blue, and we need 5 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now we'll switch back over to the green, and we need 12 green next. Oh, no. Maybe I need to bring you out a little bit more. Out. Oh. That's about as far out as you're going to get, looks like. Alright. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we're going to switch back to our blue. So switch back to the blue. And now we need 4 blue and 1 green. We'll finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. Now back to the green, and we'll finish this off with the green. And then we slip stitch right there, and there it is. So there is row 27. Get that marked off. Onward to 28. And we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we need to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches like we normally do. And in the 3rd stitch we start our falling leaf stitch there with the green, and then go to blue, and we are going to need 4 blue while we're carrying this green. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4. Bring the blue over. Bring in the green. And it looks like that I need 5 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Now let's switch over to blue. Bring the green forward. Switch to blue. We need 1 blue. Next. And then we're going to switch back to green. And now we need 6 green. So there's 1. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now we're switching back to blue, and I need 4 blue and a green to finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop the blue, go back to the green, and this last one is a green. And that last stitch. I'm going to slip stitch to this first one right here. Come on. And there you have it. So there is row 28. So we have 28 rows there. Let's mark that off. Okay, row 29. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And in the 3rd stitch we start our square. We need doubles. Alright, and we need to switch over to blue. Bring the green forward. Bring in the blue. And we need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. Alright, switching back to green. And it looks like we need 12 green. So 12 of them. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, come forward with it. We're back to blue, and we need 3 blue and 1 green to finish off this row. So there's 1. 2, and 3. Switch over to green. Slip stitch there, and there is row 29. All right, we'll mark that off. Row 30, we're going to chain 1 and turn. So we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, and then we're going to start our square in the 3rd. And then we need to switch over to blue. So bring that green forward and switch over to blue. And we need 3 blue. That's not tight enough. That's too loose. There we go. So there's 1. 2. 3. And now we need 5 green. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Now let's switch back over to blue and put a blue in. And then switch back over to green, and now we need 6 green. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. And then it's 3 blue and a green that will finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Drop the blue and finish off with the green. Slip stitch, and there we go. So this is row 30 we just finished, and you should have 20 squares in row 30. Alright, so row 31, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And then, well, let's come this way. We need to bring in the blue. And so we need 3 blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to go back to the green, and we need 9 green. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to go back to the blue and put 5 blue in. 5 blue and 1 green will finish off this row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch over to the green and put the green in. Slip stitch here, and there we have it. So there is row 31. Alright, and we will be back for row 32 in a minute. Okay, so we're back for 32, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then the third, we're going to start our square. Bring the green forward and the blue. We need 4 blue next. So this is 2. Three, and 4, and now we need 3 green, so there's 1, 2, 3, switching over to blue, and we need 1 blue, and then switch back over to green for 3 green, one, 2, and 3. And now we need to switch back over to blue. And now we need 5 blue and a green. We'll finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to do our green to finish it off. And there I have it. So the shamrock is coming right out of there. Look at that. That's looking good. All right. So 32 is completely done. now we're on to 33. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, and then start our square in the third, like we always do in this pattern. Alright, and we're going to switch over to blue next, and we are going to need 4 blue, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go back to the green, and we need 7 green, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to switch over to blue, and we're going to put 4 blue and 1 green. Should finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, dropping the blue, bringing the green back, and putting the green one in this last stitch. Slip stitching here, and there is row 33. Alright, row 34 is next. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, and then start our square in the third. And then now we have 3 blue is next. So there's 1, 2, 3, go back to the green, and we're going to need 3 green, so there's 1, 2, 3, back to blue. We need 1 blue in here. Now back to green, and we're going to need 3 green again. There's 1. 2. And 3. Back to blue. 4 blue and 1 green will finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this last one is green. And that was row 34. And here's what 34 looks like. It's looking good. We're finishing things up. Alright. So let's mark off 34. "35 is next. So we need to chain 1 and turn. And slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then start our square in the 3rd stitch. And then we need to switch over to blue. Alright, while we're carrying our green, we need 3 blue, so there's 1, 2, 3, switch back over to green, and now we need 3 green, so there's 1, 2, 3. 3 green. Now we're going over to blue, and we need 2 blue. There's 1 and 2. Back over to the green, and we need 2 green. So there's 1, and 2, Now we're back to the blue. And now we need 3 blue and a green. We'll finish this off. This row off. There's 2 and 3. Back to the green. And there you have it. Row 35. You should have 15 squares in row 35. And this shamrock is just about done. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it. Alright, so 35. Is done. $36. We are going to finish up our shamrock in this row. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square. And then we're going to switch over to blue. And now we're going to need 7 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And now we need to switch over to the green and do 2 green. So there's 1. 2, and then switch over to the blue. And now we need 3 blue and a green. We'll finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. And then we need to go back to the green. Drop that blue back there and put a green in here. And that just finished off the shamrock. Oh my gosh, look how cool that is. That is so cool. All right. So here's 36. Finished. The rest of it's easy peasy, because we are just going to be doing the border and the blue in the middle now. So we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches, and then start your square in a third. Bring that green forward and start the blue, and then we should have 11 blue, so what you're going to do is you're just going to do blue until you get to that last stitch, but this row has 11 blues in it. If you're going to be counting. This one should be the 11th one. And this last blue one over here is always the last stitch. So if you don't want to count, you really don't have to. Just do your blues all the way across until you get to that last stitch and put a green in it. So chain 1 and turn. And this is just what we're going to be doing now until we get to that last corner. Now that was 37, and 38 we will have 10 blues in the middle. Oh, wait a second. I need to finish this off with the blue. Alright. So now you're going to have 10 blues in the middle of the 2 greens. So you're always going to start out with the green, just like we've been doing. You'll have all the blues in the middle, and you'll end up with a green at the end. But you should have 10 greens in this row. 10 blues, I mean, not greens. Got one more blue here. And then we're going to switch over to green. Put the green one in this last stitch. Slip stitch. And that stitch. Alright, so that was 38, 39. We'll start the same way. And we're going to switch over to the blue. And in row 39 you should have 9 blues. So it just goes down by 1. Because we are decreasing by 1 in our squares. So there's 9 blue squares. And then we go back to the green and put the green one in the last one. Slip stitch. And that is 39. So 40. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're just going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and start our square in the third. And we need to go to the blue, and in row 40 you will have 8 blues. So this will be number 8. And then we're going to put our green in. And there is 40 rows. So you could pretty much see that. Looking pretty good. 40 rows. Let's get those. And at the end of 40 rows, you should have 10 squares left. 10 squares and 40 rows. right. So 41 and 42 is the same thing that we've been doing. And we are needing 7 blue this time. I'm liking these little green, it looks like confetti going all the way around that. These little green, you could see the green through there, and I love that. And it looks like confetti. That kind of reminds me of that. Alright. And then we're going to put the green one in the last one like we've been doing. And slip stitch there. And that is row 41. Now 42, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to go back over the blue, and in 42 we need 6 blue. So we're just going to keep going like this until we get to only 1 square. One more, and then we're going to throw that out, bring in the green, and we need slip stitch, chain 1 and turn. So row 43, go to our blue, and now you're only going to need 5 blue in this row. So there's 5. Turn over to green. And then we need a green one in this last one. You should be down to 7 squares in row 43. So row 44, and we're going to slip stitch in the first 2 stitches and then start your square in the third. Alright, bring up the blue, and now you're only going to need 4 blues. So you'll be down to 6 squares in this row. And then we need to switch over to green right here and put the green one in next. And that will finish up that one. Chain 1 and turn. That was 44, 45. Alright, now we'll switch over to blue, and you should only need 3 blue this time. And then switching back to green. Put a green one in. And that is 45. Let me make sure of that. I have to turn this on the back. Yeah, that's 45, so 46. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And make your first square in the green in the 3rd stitch. Then switch over to blue, and you need 2 blue. And then switch back over to green. And you should have 4 squares in this row. Chain 1 and turn. That was 46, so 47. We're going to slip stitch. And then start your square. And we need to go to blue. And then we're just putting one blue in. And then switch back over to green. And put your green in here. $48. You are done with that blue. We're going to slip stitch in the first two and start your square. You only need 2 green squares in this row, and this is 48. I skipped a stitch. Gotta be careful you don't do that. Right there is my stitch. And then slip stitch here, chain 1 and turn, and this is 49, and this is our last row. And this is the last stitch, right, the last square that you're putting in, because it only takes 1 square for this row, and you are done. Alright, so we scissors. We are going to cut this off. And I cut them off long so I can sew them down. And here is our full diamond. Bring it completely out so you can see it. Isn't that cool looking? Our full diamond, and it is a shamrock. So cool. Let's see if you can see it better this way. There's the diamond right there. Anyway, I am going to I'm going to sew in my ends, and then I will be back to show you how to put the border on this diamond. Alright, so we are going to start the border. You can decide what is going to be your front and what is going to be your back. But I really think they're the same. So anyway, I really don't think it matters, but you know, you could decide that on your own. Let's see. So we are going to start on the corner right here. We're going to slip stitch in there, chain 1. I want to sew this end in. And then we're going to put 2 half double crochets in this. Oh, and if you decide what is the front and what is the back, you want the back facing you. That's why. Sorry, I didn't finish that sentence. Alright, so now we are going to put a half double crochet in each stitch down the side here. So there should be 2 right here. And then there's 1 here. And then 1 here. And then you should be at 3 then, right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then you should see 2. There. So you'll just keep doing that all the way down. You should have, we're on the long side, we should have about 59 stitches or somewhere close to that. Okay, not counting this corner. Don't count the corner. Alright, and I'm going to meet you at the end of this, at this side, at the next corner. I'll meet you at the next corner. Alright, so now we're down at the other corner, and in this corner we are putting 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 half double crochets. And now you're going to go down this is a shorter side. So you have 2 long sides, and they're about anywhere 59 to 60 stitches, okay? That's good enough for that. But on the shorter sides, you have 2 shorter sides. There are going to be 49 stitches. 48, 49, somewhere around there. And you are going to be seeing these double crochets, and you're just going to put 2 around the double, and then you're going to put 1 in this stitch, and then 1 here, right before the next double. And then around the double, you're going to put 2. And then there's a stitch right here, and then there's one right there, and then 2. So it's there's 4 stitches. So anyway, 1 here and 1 here. Alright, you're going to go all the way down the side, and like I said, you should have 49. Make sure in the corners that you're putting 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet, and I'm going to finish going around this diamond, and I will meet you where we started. Okay, so I'm around here, and I've got my stitches in. I'm at this corner, and I want to finish this corner. I'm putting 2 half double crochets in there, and then I'm going to half double crochet to the top of the first half double crochet that I made to make that corner. Now we're going to chain 1, and we need 2 half double crochets in this corner. And then the first stitch, we want the back loop only, and we're going to half double crochet in all the back loops only. Now your corners are going to be the same as last row. It's going to be 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet. But on the sides, we are doing front loop only, half double crochets. So we're just going to half double crochet in all the front loops. Okay, and I will see you at the end of this round. Okay, so we are on the last round. So here is, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn this whole thing around so that this is facing you. Okay. So now we are going to put in this corner, we're going to put 3 single crochets in there. And in the back stitch only, you're going to put a single crochet. In the back loop only. And it's going to put this right here, so it matches this right here. So anyway, alright, so you're going to put a single crochet in each back loop on the sides, but when you get to the corner, it is going to be 3 single crochets in the corner. And this is the last round. And I hope you guys are having a lot of fun making these diamonds with me. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.